Fandom as a litmus test checks egos and makes all the long nights worth it. You have to respect the work before you're allowed to add to its legacy. So DoubleO is actually based. He, just like Henry Cavill, wanted The Witcher to be true to the source material and wanted it to be good, but they both got ousted because they were both like, "Lo, listen, we like The Witcher. Why are you lot f***ing this up?"
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
What is going on YouTube? DoubleO88 here, and today I'm going to be talking about X-Men 97. We're going to be going through it. I've watched the first 2 episodes. Was it woke? Was it good? Bo DiMaio, was he right to be fired for his gay OnlyFans? Oh my god, why did you fire this guy, Disney? Because this show was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. Good themes and interesting story beats, and it definitely wasn't woke. There were some bits that you could interpret as woke these days, but for 97 this would have been groundbreaking, and that's what timeline this is based in. Even the writing feels like they took it from 97. The style of writing, how the characters evolve, and the fact that there's white men that exist and they're allowed to be strong and they don't have to be gay. Some people say there are some gay iconography or some gay undertones here, but the show just hits. Like, it's just good. There were some moments I had to keep rewinding because, oh my god, that looks sick. Cyclops using his concussive eye laser, whatever, to destroy the Sentinels. That bit looked hard. Like, the way he was just ripping the Sentinels apart. Storm just coming in, like, destroying the Sentinels with her thunder powers and all that shit. And the bit where they all kind of land, and Cyclops looks badass, like, look, I don't need no one to carry me, fam. Just let me just dive down and do my superhero landing with my gigantic optic blast to cushion my fall. And that bit looks sick, and then the music starts playing dun, 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 in the background, and it's like, dun, 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 dun. You can hear it faintly in the background. He's like, "To me, my X-Men," and that I was like, oh shit, I'm getting chills, fam. This is hard. Yo, and it looked good. They were all solid. No one was overrepresented or underrepresented. Like, I mean, yeah, characters like Bishop and even Morph, the characters that people were worried about, mainly Morph, just because he's gay or whatever. Yeah, they're in the background kind of, but the characters you wanted to shine were shining. Cyclops was shining. And I've never seen Cyclops done so well in an X-Men thing that's done in the modern day. Like, Cyclops is back. Even Wolverine had to take a little bit of a back seat to Cyclops. But man, anyway, this isn't going to be just a review of the X-Men. I love the show. The first 2 episodes are good. I know there's a chance that it could be trash now, especially since they fired the writer, who I was initially really worried about. Bo DiMaio, he got fired because he had an OnlyFans, and I know he's a gay guy apparently, and apparently he wanted to inject some agenda and all this stuff. Everyone's talking about agenda and woke stuff and all this kind of crap. So I was a bit worried, especially Storm's haircut, the whole Rogue not having an arse, which was so overblown. Like, it's like one shot of Rogue not having an arse, and everybody makes hours of content about it, as if that's gonna mean whether the show's gonna be good or bad. Like, come on, man, it's one shot. You could literally find dozens of shots from the original X-Men cartoon where she hasn't got a fat ass, but you're talking about the one shot where she has got a fat ass, as if that's the be-all end-all of how Rogue was depicted in the original. Like, it's just overblown, borderline grifty stuff that people were talking about, man. Kind of annoying a little bit, because it just overshadows the real conversation of when woke does take over and fuck things up for us, you know. And I don't think this is it. I don't think this is one to harper on, which is why it seems a lot of people are quiet on this, because they know it's good. They don't want to be shown up that they were wrong about this, maybe. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see what comes out as more of this comes out. But yeah, man, Bo DiMaio, he's pretty good, because I like the first 2 episodes. But yeah, I'm going to just check out some videos of what people have been saying about this. And then we got Melanie Mac Go Boom. Melanie Mac Go Boom. And I like some of her content. Some of it, I don't agree with her on a lot of different things. And she thinks it's not good. So I'm going to hear some opposing views, this is what I want to do on my channel. Like, I'm not just going to be talking about everything that I hate. I'm not just going to be talking about everything that I love. I'm going to be talking about everything. And if I like something that everybody that usually agrees with me hates, then we're going to go through that, and vice versa. So let's see what Melanie Mac Go Boom has got to say about X-Men. She's relatively big creator nowadays, talking about all this anti-woke stuff, and I agreed with her a lot with her Tomb Raider takes, because she's like as you can see, she's like a massive fan of Tomb Raider. But she got in trouble recently. I think she got banned off Twitch because she said some controversial stuff about gay people. She's a Christian, and she thinks homosexuality is a sin, basically. That I can't say it any other way. And obviously, I guess she's not going to be a fan of Morph or any of them characters. But yeah, I'm going to see what kind of take she has, see if I agree and see if I disagree. We ain't going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to cut like the main bits.
I watched the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97 so that you don't have to. Or, I mean, you can if you want. I'll just say I don't think it's that great. I think that it could have been worse, but I don't think it's that great. Now,
let's see this bit. Hollywood director argues X-Men 97 chose to adapt the trial of Magneto in order to take a swing at MAGA crowd. Hollywood director argues. See, now this is one thing you could say, oh my God, the right wing, they're just as bad as the flipping left wing of this shit, man. But this Bound Into Comics article says a Hollywood director argues. So it's not even the right wing. I don't know who this Hollywood director is, but he's trying to insinuate that they deliberately did this to take a swing at the MAGA crowd. And if it's a Hollywood director, he's probably on the left, right? So if the right wingers are enjoying X-Men, they're trying to make them not enjoy it by saying, look, we're trying to make fun of you. But anyway, let's see what this is about.
I do think that the characters, their personalities, and all of that are pretty accurate.
Okay.
I don't think they're as good as the 90s, the actual 90s version. But
I don't know if she's right on that or wrong on that, because I haven't watched the 90s version in a long time. I watched like a bit of it like maybe a few months ago, like on Disney Plus, but then I was kind of like, nah, I can't bother to watch this. I've got other stuff I need to do. But this is new and I wanted to check this out, and everyone's talking about it, so that's why I want to check out X-Men 97. From what I remember, it was pretty damn good. I don't know if the characterization is super accurate, but anyway, I feel like it was pretty damn good. At least it was very adult. I don't know if we even have enough to say how accurate they are to the originals.
Do you think that they still mainly stuck with the characters' overall recognizability, right? So we didn't get any overt race swaps, gender swaps, or anything like that. Not yet, at least.
It wouldn't be X-Men 97 if they did.
Despite Morph being called non-binary in some of the interviews or whatever. And by the way, Morph is a total. If you didn't catch what I said, yeah. He's
whoa, what the fuck? Did she just say Morph is a total FAG, but beeped it out? Jeez, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Wait, that's not what she said, is it?
If you didn't catch what I said, yeah.
Like, I mean, I get like Christianity and God says sodomy and homosexuality is against our religion, but God loves all people, right? So calling Morph a film actors guild is kind of wild, just for no reason. Come on, Melanie, man, what the fuck?
He's fruity, and he does try to spend some one-on-one time with Wolverine. I do anticipate that getting pretty gay. So I will say that.
Now, yeah, God, I'm only 1 minute in. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I've got so much shit I gotta watch. Anyway, yeah, Wolverine and Morph, there were something that felt like there could be something there, but it could also be read into it. Like the part where he transforms into a Sabretooth and they start kind of rolling around in the forest or whatever. That bit seemed a bit, I don't know, man. But that's just reading into it, man. That's Wolverine just having a laugh, I hope. Bo DeMayo, I know he's gay. I know he's the lead writer for the first 2 seasons. Maybe that's why they fired him, because they turned Wolverine gay. I just hope he hasn't tried to do anything wild with Wolverine. Let Wolverine be the manly man that he is, man. He's the only one we got left, all right? But I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. That's wild. To take Wolverine, I'm turning it off straight away. Take Wolverine, the manliest man there, make him gay. I don't give a fuck what kind of political commentary you're trying to do with that shit. I ain't having my boy Wolverine end up being Morph's little bitch. Nah, that ain't happening.
this cartoon as a whole, even the woke elements aside, it lacks the heart. I just don't think that modern writers are as good as old.
That's a lie. It has heart. It has a lot of heart. The whole Storm storyline of her losing her powers, what do you mean? That was kind of emotional. That was good. Scott leaving the battle to go be with Jean so she can deliver their baby. What do you mean? That was good. That was heartfelt. Magneto's entire speech, he was fucking crying because he was going against all the things he believes in just to honor his dead friend that was his, like, number one rival, enemy, whatever, because he just wants to respect that. That's what do you mean? There's no heart? That's the most heart I've seen in the cartoon for a damn long time. That's what I said. That's what I said earlier. Like, this is like, not only did they bring X-Men '97 back, but they brought '97 style writing back. It feels like. So I don't agree with Melanie Mack on that bit. I think this has definitely got some heart to it so far. Anyway, we'll see what happens if they can keep it up.
Not to mention the animation looks like it's made with Flash or something. It lacks.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about the animation. The animation, it's weird. Sometimes it looks really fucking good, like almost like anime level shit. Kind of reminds me of I guess the CGI they use in Attack on Titan and things like that. And then sometimes it just looks like they're skipping frames. Looks like I'm losing internet connection or something, or losing bandwidth. The way it looks like it's skipping frames. But then sometimes it looks smooth and amazing and looks really good. So the animation's hit or miss. I don't mind it. Like, I'll get used to it. The voice acting is strange though. Like, I don't know if all of them are the same voice actors, but yeah, Wolverine, I think that's the same voice actor. I know that, but he sounds so different and weird. It's like really kind of weird now. Like, some ways, maybe it's better just to get an impressionist, but I'm glad that they brought the old guy back, that voice Wolverine. That's good, cool for him, so I'll never be mad at that. But anyway, I'm going off on my own little review right now.
Hollywood director argues X-Men '97 chose to adapt the trial of Magneto in order to take a swing at the MAGA crowd. I definitely did feel like there was some swings being made at the MAGA crowd.
I don't know what this means. She hasn't gone into the article yet, but I don't know what the X-Men's supposed to represent to, like, conservatives or religious people or whatnot. But the X-Men technically are supposed to be like the outcasts of society, right? They're the not normals, right? So Magneto is like the biggest. Technically, Magneto would be someone like Antifa, right? Or is Magneto supposed to be like January 6th? I don't know. You could either see conservatives as, the thing is, the X-Men is for anyone that's an outcast. It's not just for, like, it's not what the left say, where it's for gay people and black people and all that kind of shit. White straight males are humanity, and women, gays, and blacks are supposed to be the X-Men. That's not what it is. Also, I don't think it's necessarily Magneto is Donald Trump because he's the most extreme right or whatever, and he wants to get rid of the left, which is humanity, and conservatives are being ousted by what's mainstream and what's generally accepted, which is, or what's in power, which is the left at the moment. They got the most power at the moment. So you could look at it, and I think this is what the X-Men are for, at least post Stan Lee's run. The X-Men is supposed to be for anyone that's an outcast or feels like an outcast to relate to them, regardless of if you're a right-winger or a left-winger, if you're black or white. In any kind of way, if you're an outcast, that's how you relate. It's not specifically for anybody. You could see Magneto as Donald Trump, the head of the right wing, and the MAGA crowd who's a badass who's taking it to the left. Or you could see Magneto as a righteous Malcolm X type who's fighting for justice, but he wants to eradicate everyone that hates him or whatnot. You know, like, you could play it any way you want, really. That's good writing. That means you can apply yourself to any character. It means it's relatable to everyone, kind of. That's good, right? Remember, Magneto's a bad guy, and he used the word bigot. So it's like definitely blurring the lines. You can't tell if they're trying to be woke or not necessarily. You can see the politics of the creators and just apply it.
There was a fight scene, for example, and one of the humans was like, hey, humans have problems too. You don't see us whining about it. I hate that you whine about it. And I hate you. And that to me definitely felt like a jab at people who are not affirming, for example.
Yeah, okay, fine. That bit, that bit was a bit like, oh, that sounds familiar. That sounds like something I'd say. Because one of the most annoying things about woke people is how they whine about everything. If you really want to, it probably isn't intended that way, but you could apply it to the other way around as well. Like, I've definitely heard left wingers go, ah, ah, you guys whine, you guys complain, oh, the victim mentality. They literally have a book called White Fragility, right? That sounds like a book that guy would write, Mutant Fragility, right? I mean, you could apply it any way you want, really.
There is also a scene where Storm in the courtroom is like, silence, blah, 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 like, says her spiel. And it was a total on the nose, stay silent when a black woman speaks moment.
I don't know about that one.
Wow.
Storm's always been like loud and
That was
commanding.
a
What do you mean?
thing. Trial of Magneto is a thing before. I'm bounding into
Damn,
comics
he wore
really
the right
goes more
outfit
into
as
detail
well.
about one of the lines in the cartoon for X-Men '97 was born a mutant, an abomination to their misnamed gods. Like, what is that? Who's that? What's that pointed at? An abomination to their misnamed gods. In the Bible, the real true God in the Bible calls homosexuality an abomination. Okay?
Alright, I think she's going to her own
And
little tangents
I
now.
believe the Bible.
Anyway, let's see. That was Melanie Mack's
Thing.
take. I don't agree with her. I actually really like the shows, at least so far. Normally, I like some of her videos, but most people, I guess, that are very religious, their faith is more important than their lives. So the things she believes is based all around that. So I don't know if you can give someone a pass for that or not, but yeah, she says some wild stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at. Some wild stuff, and it forms her opinions on a lot of things. I don't know if she can objectively consider different opinions while she's so faith based, you know. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see what Tyrone Magnus has got to say about X-Men '97. I know he was worried about it. He thought it was going to be woke.
What is happening, Magnusites?
What are you saying, Tyrone? Oh, is it good? Yeah?
Listen.
See? Tyrone hates woke shit like Melanie Mac too, right? He hates woke shit. I used to watch Tyrone Magnus all the time. My guy Tyrone was like probably the #1 reactor on YouTube, right? And he's always reacting to everything positively. And then even he couldn't stand the woke shit out of Hollywood, Disney, Marvel. Everything's gone all fucked up now. But he likes '97. I like '97, apparently.
I am not the foremost expert on wokeology. However, I don't think I really saw anything woked up in it. Nothing wokeified. I think that I am a very happy Marvel and X-Men fan.
It was good.
I enjoyed the animation. In certain times, it's more fluid than in other times, but its art style and its fluidity, I take over the old series all day long. All day long.
Yeah, there was something strange about the animation. Sometimes it was on point, but then other times it was like a bit janky and weird. Like the slower moments are a bit janky, but the action looks smooth and nice and it looks pretty slick. Like Cyclops fucking up them criminals in the warehouse look hard, man. It looked hard. I saw a clip of some guy making it like it's Marvel vs. Capcom. It was epic.
They made Cyclops bad ass in this.
Tell me about it.
Cyclops saves himself. And I was like, yo, that was bad ass.
That's the bit I was talking about earlier. When Cyclops shoots the ground and he doesn't even need to be caught. Like, Bo DeMeo, say what you will about him. He may be a black gay guy, but he was focused on the white straight male in this episode, right? Like, this is how writing should be. Regardless of what race you are, what gender you are, what sexuality you are, you write the best story you can. I'm not saying because Morph is gay or Bishop is black or Storm is black that he should ignore those characters and we should only focus on white straight males. I'm saying write what makes sense. Xavier's been killed. Cyclops naturally takes the leader role position because he was one of the first X-Men. So, and he's the one that probably has the closest relationship to Xavier at this point. So naturally, he takes the leading role. So you got to focus on the leader of the X-Men right now and how he's handling this, the responsibility of taking over the X-Men. That's natural progression writing. Whereas a woke writer or someone that just wants to do woke shit would focus on Storm and Bishop's storyline about how they're black. And Cyclops would be in the background taking orders from Jean Grey or some shit. Wolverine would have already made love to Morph because it feels like they're heading there. I hope they don't do that shit. So that's what I mean. That's the difference between woke writing and writing that makes sense. Not because Cyclops is white, but because Cyclops is the leader and you need to focus on his relationship and his dealings, at least for the first few episodes until we can move on to the other characters, right? And that's great writing. And Cyclops being a badass, stopping himself from falling, showing what a leader he is, that he doesn't need help. That they did him justice, man. And that's what I need. That's what I want. That's what I need from Marvel. I miss that shit where everything felt like it was natural. It didn't feel like you were trying to one up someone by putting another person down and vice versa, you know?
And the way they have him show his anger is always a spark.
Yeah, that bit was so sick. That I loved every time he was angry, his little spark in his glasses. It was so hard. That bit got me hyped every time. I don't know if they did that in the original one. I don't know if whenever he got angry, his eyes would spark up like that in the original X-Men cartoon. But I love that little quirk that he has.
Remember, I really didn't watch the last one, so I don't know if they did that before.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
I don't, know. Storm is a goddess. Just, she is scary. She is scary. She's so.
Storm, I wanted to talk about her a bit more. Like her character is like perfect. Like I don't know what Melly Matt was saying about the angry black woman thing or whatever she was talking about, but Storm was how I remember Storm being. Like she comes in, dominates the whole scene. Like that's what she was. She is a powerful black woman, but she's earned that shit because of her powers and the way she talks, her regal way of speaking. It's why she's one of the only few women that can marry someone like Black Panther. You know what I mean? That's what Storm is. The only thing bad about Storm is a stupid haircut. I mean, could you imagine her classic haircut from the actual cartoon, her personality and the way she's written in this? The way she's behaving and her haircut doesn't match. I know that she had that hair in the 80s in the comics and they're referencing that, but it's also like the whole shaved side thing. I know that's a cool thing that women wear nowadays. It's like that's the female equivalent of the stupid dreads that black guys have now. That's the annoying equivalent of that shit, and I don't like it. I mean, I know it was cool in the 90s, and I know Storm wore that hair in the 90s at one point in the comics, but her hair in the actual cartoon was way better. It would have made it way better if she was doing all the cool shit she was doing in the episodes with her old hair. Like her stupid childish punk haircut with her personality just didn't match for me. But apart from that, Storm was sick.
Okay, this is near perfect for me. Okay, so if there's anybody saying it's, hey, like I said, I'm not a wokeology expert, but some people out there are. They know they can pick. They know they can see stuff that I can't see.
The thing is, that whole last part he's saying there about wokeology experts and all that kind of stuff, I get what he's saying because it's like a weird balance that you have to have now. Like, we should still be able to enjoy things irregardless of some woke elements, right? But at the same time, that's what got us in this mess in the first place, where you just kind of allowed this. You allowed this race swap. You allowed this gender swap. You allowed this sexuality swap. Then you allowed more shit. You allowed these female characters replacing these male characters. You allowed these female characters berating these male characters. You allow it, and you keep giving it until it ruins the whole thing. I completely get that concept of where if you allow a little bit of woke, a lot of woke can just seep in and ruin everything, you know? I get it. Slippery slope and all that. But at the same time, it's like, if you look for woke in everything, if you, just like Melanie Mack was, I think she was doing a bit, like, if you look for woke in every little thing, you can't enjoy nothing. If you really wanted to, you could go back to so much old shows we used to love back in the days, and you could find woke in all of it, 100%, you know? When Aurora kissed Captain Kirk in Star Trek, that was woke back then, you know? Like, it's you have to be careful with this shit. I get it. I hate woke shit. Can't stand it. But at the same time, you can't look for it in everything, you know? Like, that's probably what Tyrone's worried about, because he's kind of made friends with people like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker's kind of cool, though. Critical Drinker, I feel like he's a genuine guy. But Tyrone's made friends with people like Nerdrotic and, you know, like all those Fandom Menace crew, Hill versus Babyface, all those guys. I like them. They're all right. Like, I like their takes on certain things. But just because they said something's woke doesn't mean it's woke. They're not the arbiter of everything that's woke and anti-woke or whatnot, you know. End of the day, everyone's got to form their own opinions, and collectively people will say this is woke, and collectively most people will say this isn't woke. And I think a lot of people like this shit. So
far, you've got Tyrone Magnus's stamp of approval.
Got DoubleO's stamp of approval as well. Let's move on to the next one. What's our boy Just Some Guy saying? I'm curious to see what he thinks of this.
Show me the real X-Men. I said the real X-Men. Perfection. Well, I'll be damned. They nailed it. X-Men 97 is damn near perfect. They brought back most of the original cast, although a few voice actors were replaced. Jubilee's voice actor left to give the role to an Asian actor, which I think is silly.
Oh, that's so lame, man. This whole new woke shit, like the whole white person can't voice a character of color is so dumb, man. I hope we get past that shit.
In the voice. Cyclops' original actor, Norm Spencer, passed away, so he was replaced with Ray Chase, who pretty much nails the voice.
Yeah, he does.
Obviously, after nearly 30 years, people's voices change, so the cast doesn't sound exactly like they did in the original show. Except for Alison Seeley Smith as Storm. She's dead on. The animation is good.
Oh,
to be honest,
Storm,
I
nice.
don't like the change to the modern look. There was nothing stopping it from making it look exactly like the original show. But the animation isn't bad. But overall, it feels like the same show. I did watch the last couple of episodes of the original series before watching 97, and aside from the look and voice changes, I honestly wouldn't know there was a 30-year gap. It feels like just another season.
That's
so if you're a fan of the
So he's watched the series recently, and to him at least, it feels almost like it's continuing on. I kind of wish I watched the original series now.
original show, definitely check it out. That leads us into the second episode, which is phenomenal. It's a pared-down retelling of the trial of Magneto. Kudos to DeMaio for condensing Magneto's change of heart, his attempts to prove that change, and his trial all into a 30-minute
Man,
episode.
DeMaio needs all the kudos, man. Like, that guy, he's secretly based. I'll go into him in a minute.
We also get a scene with Magneto and Rogue hinting at a past relationship. That is a deep dive into the lore right there, because I bet nobody's thought about their hot fling in the Savage Land in
Yeah, that bit took me for a spin. I was like, whoa, Magneto and Rogue? Where'd that come from, man? I was like, I didn't know they had a thing. Damn, he's a bit old for you. Like.
All those people who declared the show woke because the now fired showrunner and writer Bo DeMaio made Morph non-binary will probably try to find something, anything, to take issue with because they're not going to admit they got it wrong. Real quick, just to address the Morph situation, It's not mentioned in either episode. I'm sure it'll come up, and I'm fully prepared to roll my eyes.
That's the issue. It's not mentioned in either episode. The issue of all this woke stuff that they add and stuff is the way they announce it. They announce it, people start going mad about it, and it's never really an issue. They need to stop announcing this shit. When it was a gay character or a black character or a race swap back in the days, probably because the internet wasn't as prominent as it is now, they never announced anything woke. They just did it. And then you just accepted it because it wasn't a big deal because you just watched it for what it was. But now they announce it and make some big, grand virtue signaling statement about it, and that's what ruins the whole vibe of everything, you know, because they're making it seem like that's going to be the focus of the show or the film or whatever that they're trying to promote, and it turns out it's not actually. It's just them trying to get woke points, and they lose the viewers anyway. And that's the issue that's happened, especially with X-Men, because X-Men, like Just Some Guy says, is perfect nostalgia. It's a shame that some of it's bogged down with a lot of some of the anti-woke stuff that's going on online, because rightfully so, Disney's been letting us down for the past 5-6 years. And then it's sad that Bo DeMaio has to go, because he may be secretly based.
Real quick, just to address the Morph situation, it's not mentioned in either episode. I'm sure it'll come up, and I'm fully prepared to roll my eyes because it is a ridiculous, unnecessary change. Just
Okay.
because Morph is a shapeshifter doesn't mean he's neither male nor female. That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
it's dumb.
That
It
said,
is
so
dumb.
far, it's not a problem. Now, it's entirely possible that the show goes downhill.
Yep.
I mean, that's what happened with Kenobi. It's possible that everything following this is a hot mess, but the first 2 episodes, they are on point.
Yep.
They are perfect
We'll see how it
nostalgia.
goes. So yeah, overall, I agree with just some guy, Tyrone Magnus, and even a tiny bit of early match criticism, but mostly I disagree with what she was saying. But the show overall is great. I wonder if people like Critical Drinker and Nerd Work are going to cover it. It'll be interesting to see what they say. I'm sure there's going to be some little digs about execution and stuff about stop whining. We have it harder. I don't know about Critical Drinker. Nerd Work will definitely talk about that. But anyway... But is Bo DeMaio really as woke as everyone's saying he is? Let's read about Bo DeMaio. When I first heard Bo DeMaio was getting canned from the show and he wrote the first 2 seasons, I was like, oh, this might be a good thing. Like usually when they hire people of color or different sexualities and whatnot, what usually comes with that is the woke agenda, the woke ideology. And Bo DeMaio, which is probably why he's been fired, when they used the OnlyFans excuse, because he apparently had OnlyFans with some porn on it that he created, or gay corn or whatever. But the real reason might be because Bo DeMaio is actually secretly based. Bo DeMaio, if you didn't know, was actually one of the writers on Henry Cavill's The Witcher, and he was one of the few people defending Henry Cavill. And people have said Bo DeMaio is actually really hard to work with, probably because just like Henry Cavill, he wants things to be done properly. He's a fan, and he doesn't want to have any woke crap put in there. I don't know how true this is, but someone suggested that they wanted to turn some of the characters gay. They might want to do some race swaps, and Bo DeMaio was completely against it, and he wanted to just stay true to the characters. And he apparently just said, look, how about we just take one character, make them gay, which I guess would be Morph, is non-binary, and we just focus on that character rather than just turning everybody arbitrarily gay and then they're just gay and that's it, you know. But we can at least stay true to the other characters. And I was like, well, that's a fair compromise, but apparently that's hard to work with. But let's read this. Bo DeMaio, one of the writers of The Witcher show, who was also hired to write the X-Men 97, said the writers of the Netflix show actively disliked The Witcher books and games. Here's a question. Can you discuss how the production team came about, like how they were recruited for X-Men 97? For sure. In the fall of 2020, this is Bo DeMaio's words, Marvel's head of streaming asked me to develop a take to revive this show. From there, I pitched it out, was hired. My LP was the first hire, and he brought along all the amazing talent that followed. My general rule was you had to be a fan. No questions. I've been on a show, namely The Witcher, where some of the writers were not fans, and they actively disliked the books and games, even mocking the source material. It's a recipe for disaster and bad morale. Fandom as a litmus test checks egos and makes all the long nights worth it. You have to respect the work before you're allowed to add to its legacy. Legacy. So Bo DeMaio is actually based. He, just like Henry Cavill, wanted The Witcher to be true to the source material and wanted it to be good, but they both got ousted because they were both like, "Lo, listen, we like The Witcher. Why are you lot fucking this up?" And just like X-Men 97, he's been let go. I don't know why. I mean, people are talking about the OnlyFans thing, but there might be more to it than that. And it's such a shame because the first 2 episodes are really good. We'll see if the entire 2 seasons are going to be really good. Bo DeMaio, secretly based gay black dude. If the first 2 seasons do really well, just as the first 2 episodes have been, I hope they rehire him back because he's clearly a fan. He's clearly based. And I might have been biased. I didn't make a video about it, but I was thinking, oh my god, they fired the gay woke writer. Great. Hopefully they get a writer that's non-woke. I thought it was a step in the right direction, but it looks like a step in the wrong direction because Bo DeMaio is actually based. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This video is really long. Do you guys like X-Men 97? This is kind of like a little mini review of the show as well. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you again soon. Peace.